Hello and welcome to another episode of Tester Speak, and I'm your host Brijesh Dev. With me already on the screen is my dear friend Gaurav Khurana. I have known Gaurav for not a very long time, but ever since I've got to know about him, he has influenced me in a big way. He is a very special member of the Test Chat group because of his achievements. So as a part of the test chat group, we've had two contests, and both the contests were won by Gaurav. So that's how special he is. He not only is vocal in the group, he talks about a lot of things. We've seen him speak in conferences this year, which has been another step that he's taken. So he's writing a lot of stuff. Um, Big inspiration. I am so happy to talk to you, Gaurav. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Brijesh, for calling me, for giving this opportunity. And it's good to know that, so firstly, I would like to highlight the way you organize these things. Like you invited me 21 days back. So it struck my mind that how you are back managing things at the back end, that you are prepared ahead for an interview 3 weeks ago. So I was sure that even if I have some engagements that I have committed, and if you are so planned, so I should get ready for this. So it's my pleasure to be on this interview that you have selected me, and also that community that it's really like since June I'm like previously I was on WhatsApp more, now I'm on Telegram more, and I keep on checking the test chat, what's new is coming up. So it's really good to be part of it and appearing on one of these interviews.
Well, as the name suggests, it is tester speak. It is an opportunity for testers to speak up and speak out. Since we are talking, for those viewers who do not know what Tester Speak is an interview series that I started doing with testers from different geographies, from different locations, from different parts of the world, from different companies, from different experience backgrounds. If you notice, we've had testers with more than 20 years experience appear on the show, more than 25 years experience, and we have also had testers who have a little more than 1 year experience come on the show. So the experience range is quite wide, and it is obviously fun to talk to all the testers from across the world, and it is an immense pleasure to have you, Gaurav, on the show. Although I have done a little bit of my homework and I know a little about your career journey, but then I would like you to share that with the audience. How did you get started with testing, and how did you reach where you are today?
So thank you. Yeah. So I started with I got the campus placement into Convergys in Hyderabad. I did my engineering from Dehradun, from Graphic Era Institute of Technology. So when I reached the company, we don't know what is development, what is testing, what is environment, what is this thing. So I was good at programming and all. Like in my college, people know me that yeah, he's a good person. Like if you can write some code, so they think that because I even had a background like in computer science, we had a subject and I was interested, so I was able to cope up. So I had a good impression kind of thing. So in our company in Convergys, like how they used to select is you don't have a choice. There is a set of managers who would be sitting around you, and you have to tell about your college and your achievements, and they will select you. So I also told about my project, and there were people from different branches, even those who are not from computer science. They were selected in branches there is a research department, so there was a different department. So I got selected into testing. So it was fine for me. I treated from the first day that everything which is contributing to software development, it's important. So but there are people like who create differences, and then it becomes a problem. So I'll start with that incident. That what happened is, like, five of us got assigned to, like, we joined on the same day. So we know very well each other. So we got a project like after it took some days, it took 15 days. So we became very good friends. So five of us got assigned to the testing department. So now one of the senior managers, he takes one person who he has interviewed, and he's a very senior and technical person, and he tells, like, they were talking because he took the interview for that person, and he tells us, oh, you got selected in testing. Now a fresher who is coming from college, who don't know what is development, what is testing, he just know that I got a job. And you tell that impression, and that impression lasts for very long, that testing is something like very something bad, like how I got into this. So, and that is also a senior technical manager who is telling this, then it creates a lot of impression. Then that person comes to us, and when he tells to other people, they also have an insecurity. Oh, what we are doing that. So that kind of thing, I think, as you have started some of the things like manual testing things, so those have to be changed, because it's not the word manual, it's creating an impression. People are thinking that they are doing a very simple job, or something like that. So that was an impression. And then what happens is it comes in the teams as well. So one of my friend, they were going to like same people joining on the same day, one is in development, one is in testing, they go for a tea break, and he call him, oh, you are a tester, and he feels like as if like he is doing some he's doing some crime kind of thing. But that was and when, and I told that you just do your work, it's fine. Whatever people will tell, you tell with your actions. And when the hike came, this person in my team got a better hike than that person. Then I told, now you go and tell that person that what you have done different. He's get that this person, like that was, she was a girl, so she got a better hike than that person. So I said that why you are worrying about all that stuff. And when I realized that, like for example, there was a team called as environment team, so there very less people are there. So if I think that their job is very less, like they are just running a build, triggering a build, so it's not about that what part you are playing, it's that how better you are doing that. So and the bet like when I got into testing, even I was not aware about that. Yeah, I know that it's a testing a product, but the good thing that was, like, my first company was Converges, and it was in telecom domain. So I was there for 5 years almost. Yeah. So the good part is, like, I can see that how a person is using the software. So that was the better part of me, like I can understand the whole telecom domain, that okay, I am a Airtel user, so how there are subscriptions, how their account, how they make a family account, and what all are the services and all. So for a development, if I ask him, he is like, my senior developer has gave me the code, and I am writing this, which will put an entry in this table. So he has nothing to do with like what's going on, who will use it, how is it, whether a phone number can be of 9 digit or it can be of 10 digit. So I'm not saying that all developers are like that. Initially, everybody will grow like that. So
Yeah.
people are there who are like who wants to know more about it, and they have good knowledge. Like there are some developers who are having very good knowledge, but we were getting that exposure from the day one itself. Like I can feel that, okay, so I can find problems, like I know that there is a phone number of 9 digit which can create a problem, which developer actually don't know because he has not used the product. He just know that a phone number will come in this file, I have to put it in the table, so he will write a query which will put. But as a tester, I have to know the domain, that okay, I know that there are some phone numbers which are of 9 digit, how the system will treat it. So there you bring the expertise to the system. Or even if you are doing that configuration part, though there was two people, so it's not that I have to feel that okay, that guy just press a button and it runs a build. He might be doing his own ways of things. So it started with that, like I was in that telecom domain, then I moved to insurance domain. I was in Gurgaon in SSP Worldwide for 2.5 years. So insurance domain is a little bit limited compared to telecom, because telecom you see every now and then there are new features, 5G is coming, 4G is coming, and every 2 months we had a release which will bring at least 20 features and all. And then I'm in Microsoft now for 1.5 years. So there it's again totally different. So this was the whole 10 years I'm working now. 2010 I started, 5 years, then 2.5 years. Now for the last almost 1.5 years I'm here. So that was a little about the professional part I did.
Well, that's cool. That you started off with one domain and then you paved your way through and you reached where you've reached. Now it brings me to a very interesting discussion about how companies recruit, people recruit engineers, and then they put them in sort of these buckets. Okay, these guys for testing, these guys for development. I have never understood that logic. Okay, I have never understood that logic. Are you actually speaking to the guy or the girl as to what they are actually interested in doing? Are you creating enough awareness, okay, that if you are a part of the development team, then this will be your job description and these are the things that you'll be doing. If you're a part of the testing team, then this will be your job description and these are the things that you'll be doing. At the end of the day, this will be the list of things which will make you happy as a developer. These are the list of things that will make you happy as a tester. I mean, without qualifying all these parameters, the companies, they allocate people. Okay, and this has, if you've noticed in the Tester Speak series, a lot of my guests, especially from India, have had this as a starting point in their career journeys, where they have been put into testing or where they were not given a choice, they were just put into testing or allocated to development where they wanted to be a tester, things like that. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think you raise a very valid point. Like, first they should tell, like, these are the various perspective and these are the various areas, because in college everybody thinks that it's just the development part, and because I saw in Microsoft this thing very good, that even they are hiring freshers and they are recruiting them as managers as well. So it's like the starting role where they will tell the tools and all, and meanwhile they will grow like that. So they will teach them those things. So it's not that you can't be a manager or you can't be a particular thing. So you have to sell that thing accordingly.
Yeah.
So for my case, it was like that managers will select. If there is a conflict, they will discuss. Otherwise, it's like who likes that person. It's like that if he's a testing manager or he's a development manager, he selects those persons from those domains and they will get selected. But yeah, it's a good idea that firstly they should tell that, so that people have a choice, because what happens is that person, he does not perform that job correctly, because I have seen many people who move to development after 2 years. So throughout the time they were just doing coding or doing those things, and some were successfully moved also. There is no problem in moving, like companies should allow as well. But yeah, they should tell that these are the advantages over here and these are the advantages, because nobody talks that you will know a product. So it's a very important thing. Like, if you use it as a user, you will really like it, like how the person actually who is using the software, what problem he will face, and how this whole ecosystem is working. So because development sometimes, because they are working in a particular domain, like if I talk about telecom, there were 5 various subsystems. Like, there is a complaint system, there is a people who are collecting your bills, and there is a billing system where a 15 people team is working, but only the testing team knows that how the whole ecosystem is working. So if somebody will tell you that, you will have the exposure, that you will know that, and you will find the problem that user is facing, and when all these things merge, so that can create problems. So yeah, I think it's important that they should be given a choice. They should be given everybody, like, instead it should be reverse way, that managers should come and they should present their domain in such a good way that people wants to go there, so that they can make the selections like that, and then they can select it out, that whosoever is pending, they can select it out, that how they can fit those people over there. So it's very much needed in the domain and
Correct.
companies.
Correct. I mean, when you talk at college level, it is a pity that, especially for people pursuing IT in engineering, it's a pity that the knowledge that is imparted to them is only limited to development. And people think, oh, there is only development. Or I was speaking to last year when I had the opportunity of going to India, I spoke to a college student, and she was in her final year and she had come for some career advice. And I asked her, okay, so you are, doing information technology, engineering in information technology. And what are your thoughts? What are your things? So she's like, development. And I said, what's wrong with testing? Oh, is there testing? Was the question that she asked. And then she said, even if it is, I don't think you get paid very well. Imagine college students talking like that. Okay, and we are still not talking about automation. We are still not talking about the so-called manual thing. We are talking about testing. Okay, so the impression is like that. And from where do the college students get this information? From their teachers, from the people they talk to. So this thing, this particular bias, okay, is it is like a social stigma. It is in the society that we live in, and our college educational system hasn't done anything to change this pattern. And it's not just testing; it's towards in the field of medicine. Okay, when I talk about this, there is obviously an MBBS degree. There is a BDS degree. Okay, dental sciences. You see that bias against the dentist as well, and it stems from that education. Oh, dentist, you're not a doctor. People say this, right?
Right, right.
I come from a family of dentists, so I know what it is. They still are the people who write a doctor in front of their name because they are doctors.
Right.
They are in fact specialists, right? Similarly, testers are specialist people. I mean, there has been overgeneralization of the whole thing, so much that I don't know. I can go on talking about it.
Yeah. Even I feel that is there, but I think so I'll tell you that when my friends, like college friends, they used to ask, oh, what you are doing. So I told them that I'm a tester in Convergys. So they will, why tester? How come you are a tester? So as if like there is some mistake that I was doing maybe good in programming over there. So why I'm a tester? And so that is there, I think. So then when I analyze that, so you will find that difference will always be there, and we have to sometimes ignore it, because even if you are a developer, so people will ask which technology. So if you are doing in C, you are not maybe that good. If you are, then Java will come, then Android will come. So it's that you have to keep yourself updated and you are good in that area, because things will keep on coming. Because within developer you will see, okay, you are not doing mobile, something mobile development is the latest thing, then data scientist will come. So these things will keep on coming and coming. So even I was searching, like I was checking, for my marriage. So I told that that girl is a doctor. So I told that she's in Ayurveda or something, homeopathy. Then yeah, that is the reply what you are telling, that oh, that's not a doctor. So that is there. So we have to understand that everything is important. So if
Yeah.
you remove that person, like if I remove that configuration person, though that two persons who give the build from the development to the testing, now we have DevOps, everything happens automatically. But at that time we had that, and some systems are so old that they are following that pattern, that there is an environment team, because there were 5 environments: one testing, one development, one pre-prod, one UAT, one production. So they have to take care of a lot of things. So
Exactly.
it's that how better that they are doing. And if we remove them, even if they are doing a little job, it will break the system. So it's just that you have to be wherever you are, but you have to make it highlight, you have to make in such a way that people notice that, okay, that even if you think that people are not noticing, you do something by which people will notice, okay, you are doing a great job.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
some
it is.
things we can do, but
Sorry. Go ahead. Go
but
ahead. Go ahead.
some things will remain in, like for example, if you tell someone I'm an engineer, okay, you are below doctor by definitely. So that's are like, those things are coming from years, and they will take a years to go those, to get those things out of I think the people's mind.
Yeah. I mean, I was just going to say that until a few years ago, when we started seeing these TV shows about cooking competition, Master Chef, or
Right.
things like that, or TV shows with dancing and singing like Indian Idol or any shows. Until then, there were no professions that chef, called chef. Chef can be a profession and of, I mean, a profession of respect. Okay, a respectful
Right.
the profession existed obviously, but a profession of respect. That respect was not there. Okay, and choreographer or a singer, it could be a respectable profession. People did not have that mindset. It was always like, oh, you are in first standard, okay, you either be a doctor or an engineer. Only two streams. And now we are trying to see. So you're right. It will take years to change that mindset. But we ourselves as testers have to do a better job in trying to talk about our profession. So, last year I had my school reunion where we met after 25 years. And the obvious question, and we of course had invited our teachers also, who had taught us 25 years ago. So the obvious question was what are you doing now? What do you do? And I very proudly said, I test software. That's what I do for a living. There is no shame in saying that you are a tester. You have to be proud of what you are doing. And once you establish that pride, then you will see that, okay, people are looking at you with respect. Until you yourself are talking about it respectfully to others, nobody will get that. So you make a very valid point, Gaurav. Now, I want to move on a little further and talk to you about some of the things that you spoke about. So, in your journey, you've seen over the past 10 years that you've been working, the landscape of testing has changed. Initially, when you started your career versus now there is a lot of focus on test automation, on tools, and on learning stuff. What has been your personal experience with that? How have you seen testing evolve?
Yeah, so testing has like changed a lot. Like from the product that I was working in, it was in C++. So there I saw that like automation scope was a little less. For example, like I went to do that, then people told that there is QTP available, but it can do to certain level, but there are certain objects in that it can't recognize. So you will stuck over there. I said okay. So then there were APIs all. So I read about it, that what are the different APIs. So we had some SOAP UIs API that we did, but there was other APIs though they were telling that they can't be done via Postman. There were some private or internal APIs are there. So in the, so that time Selenium and all, they were not like I can use in that software, because now many things are coming web based, so there you can do. But it is a C++ application, that too it was in Portuguese language. So what I analyzed over the journey was like that it's not that that automation thing, but you have to do a value addition part in the things. So I'll share some of the things that I created where very less coding or those kind of things were required, but they were doing value addition. Even my manager started a award called as ABCD award. So it stands for above and beyond the call of duty. So that means, okay, as a tester, you have to write test cases. You are testing a product. As a developer, you are developing a product. But what else you are doing that which is adding to the system and all? And I'll share very small things that I did. So most of the things are like that I find it and I think it's a mantra also that I think I have analyzed myself, and I find out that if you are repeating something, that like I'm a lazy person, to be very frank, I find it very lazy. That if you see that TestFlick entry that I gave, it was because of my laziness, that I cannot type the same thing again and again, or I was trying to think that how to make it shorter. So you just have to think that, and you will be amazed when you'll Google it, there is already a solution for it. So something which you are searching today, somebody has already searched it 5 years back, and they have put the solution as well. It's just that you have to implement it and share it with others. People will find it really good. So that that auto hotkey that I shared, that it's a text expander. Yes. So that would be existing for years. It's just that I find it and I'm sharing with 100 people. Now they will find it useful. They will share it further. So it was like there was a SharePoint. Like we did not had any test management tool. So you get into the project, you will understand that what all these things are. So there was a SharePoint. They create a list, and there we upload test cases, and there were various releases, and all the releases documents will come at one place. So it was like 18 release, 19 release, 20 release, 21 release. So if you load that page, it will take like half a minute to load that page, because it is having from the day the project started.
Yeah.
So I thought that like how I can make it release specific, because for a particular 2 months, I'm not interested in what happened in previous releases. So I just read about a little about SharePoint, that how can create a custom view. So I created a custom view by which you can just put the filters over there, and and people liked it. Like everybody in the team, it was like, yeah, now it's taking less time. And seeing that interest, one of the test lead, they made me the SharePoint admin. So now when I become the SharePoint admin, I was again exploring with the features and all. Like for example, there is a SharePoint designer. So you don't need any coding and all. It's just that your basics, if else conditions should be right.
Yeah.
So there was a process called as test case review. So what will happen is there is a requirement, and requirements were very good in that project. Like you get a document, because at that time we don't have that user story concept. So that time I was comparing that how now we have user stories and things have become, but it has created some problems as well. Like in user story, people will write sometimes very generic things which are like not a particular proper requirement. As a user, I can open this page or something like that. But at that time, like the customer was so good that we have BR called as business requirements, and they will list point by point. Point number 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So you have an exact requirement. Okay, this is 1.3. The system should behave like this, or they will write very exact thing that the phone number should be of 10 digit, which is a very clear requirement, and it gets reviewed and all. So those requirements we write test cases and we won't review. But what will happen is we'll send a mail, nobody will read it and all. So in SharePoint there is a feature like you can send emails via it. So what we did is what I did is I created a list where I put that whether it is reviewed by development, whether it is reviewed by BA. There were drop downs and all. So as soon as I put my test cases, emails will go to them, and manager can also see at one place. This is a release. These are all the things. So this is also kind of automation, like where you used an existing tool, and you just made something which is easy for others. Another example I would take is like, since the product was in Portuguese, the error messages it used to give we can't read.
Yeah.
Like it will give you an error code 4096 and something in Portuguese, and it was difficult even to copy that because it was a C++ application, not a web like where you copy and translate it on Google. So there was a SharePoint where you go and you type 4096 and you press enter, and then you will see that okay, it's matching in Portuguese, and it's what is the English meaning of it, that it's an application error or your subscription is not active, that kind of thing. So that also was a pain, like go there and check it out. So what I did is like, I mean, I would not say that everybody should have very good knowledge or so much coding skills that you know how to open a browser in Selenium and all. Just you have to know the concept of maps. So what I did is I wrote a very simple program where I just put the code and its translation, and and that also I created via Excel, that how I can write that syntax, because there were 10,000. So I just copy pasted from Excel from there and created a Perl program, and it was just 2-liners. Now what happens is you give ERR space 4096, press enter, it will come on your screen. And we were having that, like it was Linux based application, so everything was that command prompt kind of thing. So you press that, it will come very instantly. So it's like these small things. So I did not do a very big thing, but it was an achievement that nobody is doing that. So even if I'm doing a small thing, it comes and it saves time. And even if it does not save anybody's time, it's saving my time. So I value that. So yeah, these kind of things people will find in like whether it was 10 years ago or it will be 10 years from now. So the things that you do, if you find little things in that you will find very good things. For example, one of our managers, even he created a utility. So what happens is, suppose you are using a software and there's a problem. Like you are trying an operation, you are trying to add a service to a phone number, but it's not getting added. So what will happen is you will go to database, you will write the same query again, select star from a phone number where phone number is equal to this. Then you will see what is its subscription ID. From subscription, you will go to account number. So basically there are 5-6 queries which every developer is running or every tester is running to do the debugging. That's what happens. So he just wrote a simple tool where you give one thing, phone number, it gives all the information and only relevant information. Like so it's also a tool. So it's not that you have to develop a very end or very high specific tool. It's just that you give one detail, it is telling you the relevant details, 6 queries it is running and taking out the 3-4 columns which are important for you. And it's very useful. The person can simply say your phone number is not active, how you can add a service. So that's it. Bug comes back to testing thing, or we don't raise it, seeing that things. So these are small things which will always be there. Like even if everybody become automation tester, then how you will show your value? So you have to find such things which helps everyone, and these are very small things and which anybody can do. You need not to do have a lot of coding knowledge or a lot of tool knowledge. You just have to find the problem, and Google is there to help you to give you the solution. So that will remain constant, but yeah, technology will definitely evolve.
This is so heartening. It is so heartening to know, and I was amazed with every word that you said there. You know, we talk so much about automation. Talk so much about automation. We say, okay, uh, automation will change the way we will probably change your life. It'll, increase quality and do, faster releases and reduce errors and reduce redundancy, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then what we end up doing is converting a set of already written test cases to automation scripts, scripts that could be run by.
Right.
That's what we do. And there was a recent discussion in the test chat group on the value on coverage around conversion of those test cases into test scripts, and I was like, what is going on? But if you want automation, this what Gaurav said is automation. Okay, it is making his life easy. It is making everybody's life easy. So what you spoke, Gaurav, is the true essence of automation, in my opinion. Okay, it doesn't have to be always related to conversion of certain test cases. It doesn't have to be related to execution. It can be a very simple tool which calculates for you. You can have your own calculator app to do things for you. Complex calculations. You just enter the numbers, it gives you the result. Something very simple like that. Okay. It does not have to have rocket science. Oh, you are building framework and then you're thinking about libraries and I don't know what all you're thinking about. You're first thinking, oh, will I work with data-driven keyword or keyword-driven or what? It is not rocket science. Automation is not rocket science. And those guys, those testers who are thinking that, okay, they have been stuck in this rut called manual testing and they don't see any future. Here's your future, what Gaurav said. Try simple things. Try simple things that make your life easy. I mean, you used a very interesting word called lazy. I put myself in that category too, Gaurav. And out of laziness, we do a lot of things which make our life easy. And that for me is automation. So thank you for putting the emphasis and giving those examples. And I'm sure people will benefit from that. And of course, your talk on the auto hotkey was excellent. For those who have missed that talk from Gaurav, I will put a link to that talk in the description because it is available on the Test Tribe YouTube channel now. And of course, Test Tribe did a fantastic job. So a big shout out to them and a big thank you for arranging that test bench. That was awesome. I mean, I don't know how those 17 hours passed. It was fun back to watching all those speakers back to back, watching yourself on screen. It was fun. So quite some interesting experience there. Now, I want to ask you something very interesting. Okay, so you, Gaurav, and for the rest of the audience, must know that Gaurav is the winner of both the contests that have taken place in or that have been organized by the test chat community so far. He has won both the contests. He won both of them hands down. So what is the inspiration behind winning those contests, Gaurav? How do you do it?
Yeah, so the first time you organized, like when it was started, so I like this overall concept of the test chat, the kind of discussions that we have. because the other discussion that you see everywhere, and I think going back to the previous point, as you rightly mentioned, so hearing those words, big words, BDD, cucumber, and people putting questions like, there is another very good group that I recently joined, that Naveen Automation one, where only technical queries will come.
Yeah.
So people, like many freshers, will just ask that whether I should start Selenium with Java or Selenium with Python. And what happens is, like, they get into those, it's fine that you have to learn and you have to do those things, but seeing all those things, Docker, containerization, so many words, you will see that you will not start fearing, that you will keep on in that phase only, that okay, I will not start, this is looking very complex, or this is becoming that the time I'm starting somebody, there are already so many people who have done a lot in that. So with that, I think I remember that Sachin thing, that he mentioned a very good thing in that, and I have noted down. Generally, I note down such things which are really good. That somebody was asking this question, and Sachin gave a very good reply, that you have to be like a farmer. You keep on doing your work. After a few months, you will get the result. So I really like that part. So, and it has created a good impact, that I have started few things, then I ignore the other things which are going on, so that I'm also trying to behave like a farmer. Okay, once I get the result, though I get involved here and there a little bit, but that was a really good thing. So what keeps me, like, first time when I joined that Amazon contest, so I get up because everything was surprise on that day, and I don't get up, like Delhi is even colder, so I don't get up that early. It was a Saturday, and I thought that, like, I attended, like, there was a website called as 99test.com. So it was a crowdsource testing, where they will just launch something. There will be a new app coming. There will be so many errors, and you will report errors. So I thought that something new might have, somebody has developed, and you want to get it tested. So the time you said Amazon, I think that how Amazon can have problems. So, but yeah, I think I thought that okay, I have already got up, so let's try to find it out. And I was amazed to find that yeah, there are so many problems, which, so I was looking for the corner areas where there could be problems and all, and test report I had to prepare. So it was really like those two efforts, because what happens is, like, because of a contest or such things, you put your 100% in those 2 hours, which, like, if you get a lot of time, you will not think about that, but in that 2 hour you have the lot of learning. Like, those 2 hours is like 8 to 16 hours which you will spend. So I think people should participate. That is one of the good reasons that I might not go to those option in Amazon, maybe in my 10 years of life I have used, but with that, like, passion, that I have to find why I cannot find something, that why there is not a problem. So in that, even if I find 5 or 6 issues, or it could be a user issues, like, then so that was really a good thing that I found out. So it's like something which is giving you a good learning, spending just 2 hours, and then I got the winner. And the winning thing is also a very good thing that you have put, that if you are winning, then you will get a conference something. So if you tell someone that, oh, you are getting a pass for conference, initially it looks like, okay, your parents, that, oh, they got some conference pass and all. But when I get into those conference, there were really new things that you will know. Like, for example, our organization is talking a lot about accessibility testing. Like, Microsoft pays a lot of attention to accessibility testing and all. So I went into one of these conference, and they were sharing some simple tool called as Pali.
Yeah.
So they told that it's a static website, you can do it very easily. So those are very good key takeaways, that you just go in those, and even if you know the name of those things, so that will, you will know that okay, they are very good things which are already there in market, by which you can do for at least static sites, and then you can explore more.
Yep.
So that, and I was thinking that why I never participated in a conference earlier. So that's a good thing, that with test chat I came to know. And special thanks to you for the Testflix thing, that because generally when you think about these things, you'll think that okay, the people who have 20 years of experience, or who have lot of expertise, they should only go, because people can ask anything, right? So even I saw that people asking anything, like, even if you don't know, there are thousands of things which we don't know, but people think that they are the expert, they can answer any A to Z, any questions like that. So but when I saw the Testflix topics, like, they even have a productivity hack, and it has to be a small videos and all. So it was a very good chance, and I shared even in my team and all. And even we are planning a test flicks at our company as well. Like there are talks going on. So they even like the concept. Everybody like that concept. Even the name is actually the test flicks thing is very good. So and yeah, when you gave the second contest thing, and even yeah, I think I got the chance to interact with James. So that even was very good. Like that mind map is pending. I have already prepared. I think Dimpy asked that uh, to share that workshop mind map. So I prepared that, where I came to know about various heuristic, and it was just like, I'll just give a brief in 2 minutes. That it was like James gave a web page which has 4 fields, right? Only 4 fields that you have to test, and people have spent 11 hours testing that. And Rahul has prepared a very good report where he has spent 5 hours on that. And you will find that how people have tested it, like what deep testing is, like how even 4 fields can take 4 hours, and people can prepare a report of 11 pages. So there comes the speciality. If you tell an automation person, so you just tell him that these are the fields, we have to click on it, yeah, and it's fine also. See, automation job is programming, so we have to, even when I'm doing automation, I want my thing to work, I don't want it to break. So my mentality is, somehow this login page I have to work, and at that time my only intention is it should work. I will not think that what are the 15 ways to break it, or to find where it's broken. So yeah, so that was a very good thing, that James workshop, that it motivated me, like I should participate, and I should get chance to participate in all these things. And the second contest test project, it was a very unique thing, so I took it as a challenge, that I was even doing that farmer thing, like I was reading some particular topic and I wanted to complete. Then I think you gave this context on 21st of a month. Then I thought that okay, 10 days, I'll take it as a crash course and see that how much I can learn. That because a little overall knowledge if you have about the tool, it will tell you okay, whether it can be used somewhere else or not. So it's a good time to do a POC kind of thing. So I took it like that way. Like initial 3 days I was busy in my company project and all, but then when I started using it, I found it like it's a very good tool, and you can do things like, I never did mobile testing because I never got a project or got a chance, but it was very easy to do it via test project. And even they gave like and in that also, like I got a very good amount also. So I would like to mention that that could be also be one of the reasons for people to participate. Like I thought that $75 I will get on their website to buy something, maybe like their add-on or something, but they gave it as an Amazon balance. So that is also a very good thing. And I recently participated, I think, in other also, like Agile Testing Alliance. So there was like very senior people, and they were talking very important things, which matters in testing. And there are very small things like risk and all that stuff, and James keep on talking. And there are other people like Srinivas also, he shares a very good experience, and there are other things. So all these things keep me motivated, like that we should participate. And even if we don't win, it's fine. There is a lot of learning, because I tell you that within those 10 minutes, even recording a zoom video was also a learning, that how I have to record, and doing the setup, that it's not getting disturbed, so everything. But you do it when you have a target. Like if I have to record on my own and put it on my YouTube, I already have 2 websites and that. But for that you need a motivation or a target. But here you have a defined thing, so that helps you actually. So it helps me in learning, and I would request everyone that they should participate in all these contests. And when I saw that even you are putting a lot of effort, like the day was extended 3 times. I think it was first, it was second, then it was fifth. So if you are doing a lot of work, you might be expecting that okay, you are extending those dates for the people. Otherwise you would have ended the contest on the day it was for. But I would request everyone that people are there, so even they can suggest the contest they want, so we can have even those contests as well. But
Yeah,
people should
most
participate.
welcome. Most welcome. Yeah, thank you, Gaurav, for that call to the people to be more participative, to be more active, and talking about the contest and the ideas. Okay, so generally the concept is, okay, you participate in a contest, and there is first prize, second prize, third prize. There's a a cash prize or something like that, people think, okay, I will do something with these 10,000 rupees or whatever I get. Okay. But we wanted to think differently. And so when we started with the TTC contests, that's what we call it. We call it hashtag TTC contest. When we started thinking about these, and we said, okay, why don't we try and do something different in terms of the reward? Instead of keeping a cash award or things like that, which we could have easily done, why not send people to conferences? I mean, give them passes to conferences. Because these conferences, like you said, are a very rich learning experience. Okay, and I have been speaking to a lot of people as a part of the Tester Speak series who have been conference speakers. They've been participating in a lot of conferences. They add a lot of value. So when I saw that, okay, people will have this opportunity when they will start participating. We have been doing this as a part of the Test Chat group, that we have been pushing people. We have been sponsoring tickets for people to go and join conferences. I said, okay, instead of simply randomly sponsoring, we have done that also. Invite nominations and then top 10 people go to a conference. We've done that, and but then when we said, okay, when we have this contest, we have the opportunity of the tester showing his or her skill in trying to test something or in trying to learn something, and that share that knowledge, share that. So as a matter of fact, when we did the first contest with Amazon, okay, the reason why I chose Amazon as one of the apps is what you said. The 10 years of usage of Amazon, you would have never thought about the fact that Amazon could have had bugs. We tend to overlook things. But the moment you put a focused 2 hours effort, you saw yourself, the kind of bugs or the kind of things that they were missing in their app. Okay. So it is just to show that, okay, if we bring some focus, then in our testing, we can find a lot of things. It was just a lesson for people, but the reward was bigger. It was an interaction, a chance of interacting for a good 5.5 hours with James Bach. He was doing an online class and he was grateful enough to say that, okay, we will have some, I will give away some passes. And I said, don't just give away. Let us put a contest, let us put a price tag on it, and let us make it as a prize for people who come through. You're learning testing and you want to learn more testing, you want to learn from an expert, and this is the way you should take. So that was the idea. Then coming to the second contest. Okay. I know that a lot of people have not even heard of a tool called Test Project. So the idea was, when you go out there and when you start exploring, when you start evaluating, you learn a lot of things. And you did exactly that. The way you started, the way you built that entire mind map initially, and everybody looked at that mind map. When we start looking at your video and we see your mind map, we're like, really? So that is the expression that people have had. I had that expression when I started seeing your video. Okay, it is so nicely done. It is so well done. And for that, we said, okay, we want to keep the reward bigger, better. When we informed Test Project, the team from Test Project, that we are running a contest which is involving your tool, they were happy. They said, okay, we would like to, give the winner some goodies. And that cash award that you spoke about, the Amazon vouchers that you spoke about, that was the result of that discussion that we had with them. Even they were surprised that we were running a contest like that, because we want people to learn new tools, we want people to learn new technology, we want people to invest their time logically, and that is the whole idea. And that's where what you said makes absolute sense, that people should come and participate in large numbers, because we are doing this for the community. Okay, we could have easily done it between us. I mean, I had 10 tickets, I could have just called people, hey, I'm distributing these tickets, take it away. No, we don't want to do it. We don't want to make things very easy for people. We want to bring some excitement in life, right? So that's the idea. Well, and I am so grateful to you, Gaurav, for putting in so much energy, so much effort behind these contests. That it is absolutely phenomenal. The one thing though that I want to tell you is that what you have done because of this is that you have put yourself in a situation where you are on a hat trick. So you have absolutely no pressure on winning the next contest.
Yeah, but I'll definitely participate because there are some learnings. Like I'll tell you that made some videos in Amazon apps. Like I had a screen recorder which I used to use on my YouTube channel. So then I was facing problem that how I can transfer it to my laptop and all those kind of. These were very small things that will come that. And even I had a learning that how I embed that video in a Word document. So when you participate in contests, there are small things where that those are there which you will learn, which I would have not explored otherwise. Like then after the, I think after the contest was over, I put a question in the test chat group that which all tools you use. So one of the person very good mentioned a tool by which you can simulate some things on the laptop, like same mobile screen, you can get it on your laptop. So those are also a good things that you can get while using this. Maybe even a small screenshot tool which would have helped someone. So that would even help you in your real life as well. So
Exactly.
so so those 2 hours are really like they can have a lot of learning for you. Maybe though these are small things, but they will be really helpful and save time.
Well, I really like that emphasis that you put on making life easy, saving time, making life better for yourself, for the community. And this is the mindset which we require as testers of making life easy for our users, for the users of the product that we are testing. Okay, first of all. And then in doing our day to day things as a part of our work, or even at home, if you could do things to make your life easy, trying to do simple, redundant things, nothing like it. So, talk to Gaurav because he's got a lot of these productivity hacks. Um, I will mention the link of your website, of your channel in the description of this particular video so that people come to know about all the cool things you've done. I will also once again give the link to your TTC contest entry of the last one, the test project thing, in the link of this video, in the description of this video. And another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to have a sort of a link where I want to put in a list of the hacks or the achievements or the things that you were talking about. I want to put in a list of these small ideas that you've shared so that the users can benefit. Unless you have them all on your website, I want to list them down somewhere and share it with the audience. So it'll be nice if you could share that list with me, and then
Yeah,
I'll put it in the.
I created a mind map for this talk, so where I have listed few of them. So thanks to Ajay and Rahul for that. For I used it I think 3-4 years back. Then I stopped when I see that Ajay's mind map where he has put his whole family or marriage kind of thing, and Rahul consistently sharing in the group. So started using it again back. So yeah, I'm really liking it, and I think for all the things now I use mind map.
Great, 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 great. Yeah, mind maps. I've been doing it for quite some time. I learned from the guru himself, and then attended a workshop on mind maps, and then started using it. I use it for every small thing that I do, for the minutest things in my personal life that I do. In fact, the test chat was born through a mind map. 4 years ago, 4 years ago, one evening I was just sitting, waiting for my wife to arrive from work, here in the Netherlands. I did not have a job at that time. I was thinking, and this idea came that we should have a platform where testers can talk, where testers can speak their mind. And I immediately pulled out my laptop and I did this mind map and I saved it. And 4 years later, the virus putting all of us inside the house gave me the courage to implement it. And thankfully, it has survived. So, good things happen because of mind maps. Mind maps are good. People should use them more often. Well, okay, Gaurav. So I want to move on to the next section of my interview, and that is a rapid fire. Okay, and the rules are very simple. You'll get 5 questions, each of them with 5 seconds to answer. In case of a multiple choice, you have to explain why that choice.
Okay.
Okay. Very simple, very easy. So you're working for Microsoft, which is in Hyderabad, and but currently you are in Delhi because of COVID.
Right.
Okay. So Hyderabad or Delhi?
Delhi.
Why?
Food.
Food.
Just because of.
Well, that's interesting because a lot of people would say Hyderabad for food. That's interesting. Okay. So, any specific?
Because I'm a vegetarian and they're finding that paneer and all is difficult. Everywhere you find dosa, basically on every like you have to go to very good places to get a good North Indian food. So, but people are very good. Like people I would prefer for Hyderabad. Like people over in Hyderabad, they are really very good.
Okay, you actually took away my next question with that. I wanted to ask you Delhi people or Hyderabad people, and you've already answered that question. So, well, it's disclaimer. I want to put a disclaimer. We are not saying that Delhi people are bad. It's just
all my friends are really good and all, but yeah, they are very innocent and those kind of. So I really like them.
Yeah, the thing about people from Hyderabad is there is a charm, okay, in them which is not seen in other cities for a certain reason. I don't know what that is, but there is, like you said, I mean, there is a bit of innocence, there is a bit of laughter, there is a bit of, it's a combination of so many things. It's not something that you can put in words and describe. It's a feeling that you get when you talk to people from Hyderabad. It's something different. So I agree with you on that one. Well, the next one is again not very difficult. So you are from Delhi. You've studied in Dehradun. You've lived in Hyderabad. Apart from these cities, which would be your most favorite city?
So Himachal, maybe I went there for some trekking and all. So I like the mountains and all. So that part, that was good.
You don't like beaches?
No, Goa is the best place. I think every year once you should go to Goa. This year it got missed because of COVID, but yeah, Goa is my favorite.
Goa is like that. What do you say? The holy
place, yeah.
Pilgrimage. Where one visit every year is kind of a must. You can just go and forget everything else, disconnect and nice. Okay, good. All right. So that brings me to my next question. Why automation?
To make your task easy. To make that checking part, to make that checking part faster and have the value addition. Basically, you should have that value addition in mind. So if that is the cause, then just not for the sake of showing it that it was manual, now it's automation. It's adding value, then do it. Just don't do it that it's automation, so it's better. It might not be the case at times.
I like that part of the response. Not do it for the sake of showing that okay, it is great and it can do. And of course, we are all aware of the challenges or the myths that we have. 100% coverage. This is that is the biggest bluff that I ever hear
Right.
from people when they say 100% automation coverage or whatever. And that's not possible. Not in the wildest of dreams, maybe. Okay.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
and everything, yeah, and everything does not need sometimes automation. If something you do it very rarely, or it's like 3-4 months you are doing, then you need a maintenance effort. And so you have to do that. I think you did a survey also, feasibility analysis, and not only feasibility analysis but usage analysis as well, like how frequent you are doing and how is it easy to do it in a manual way, then providing it 15 configuration and then running that thing. So yeah, that analysis is important. And is it value adding or not? It's not just that there is a management who is running 15 projects and they are just looking at the percentage of it, that how many projects have how much is the percentage automation. So there should be how much it can be automated, how much it should be automated, then only they should do that automation.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I have a mind map for feasibility analysis, which I need to probably share. I will write a post on it. Thank you for letting me know. And your usage analysis is a part of that. Okay, so
Okay.
when you do your feasibility study, when you are studying how much what automation is feasible and what is not, and what tools and what things, one of the factors to be accounted for is what will be the use, how much of it will actually be beneficial, how much of it will actually make a difference. Okay, and obviously it is based on responses from everybody in the team, a tester, a developer, a product owner, the architect, the business guys, stakeholders, and if possible, the customer also. That if you automate this part, how much of it will be beneficial? Okay, from a project perspective, if I automate, how much, like you keep saying, make life easy. That is the first response that you gave to my question. Uh, how much your life will be made easier because of that? And what are you going to do with that part where your life has become easy? So you have few extra minutes or few extra hours, right? What are you going to do? Can you be more productive? Do you think it is adding more value, or it's like, okay, you can choose to go and chill out. You can go, you can choose to relax in those few hours, which is fantastic. But is it giving you that freedom, that peace of mind? That's something. Okay. Now, having said all this, my next question is, who or what is rather who is the speaker that you have heard so far that you would like to work with in all the conferences that you've been a part of? Is there somebody that you would like to work with?
So I have not maybe heard in a conference, but I have followed him, Pradeep. So I have read his book also. So he writes very to the point things, and the book was also really good. And forming a team, like an organization, Mulia testing and all. And I saw that they have recently completed 10 years. So yeah, he's the person to work with.
Huge shout out to Mulia for that. Congratulations to Mulia Testing for completing 10 years. We're talking about Pradeep's book, Buddha in Testing. I usually have the copy with me, but again today, it's probably by my bedside because I I, I read it whenever I get an opportunity. I've read it so many times, but I still read it.
Oh,
And I shared this in my interview with Balaji also, that first I was so impatient after hearing the announcement of his book, that the book has been launched. I was so impatient. I wanted to get the book, so I immediately ordered a Kindle version, and simultaneously I ordered
okay.
the book
Hard
actually,
copy.
hard copy. I knew that is going to take 2 days to arrive, or probably the next day. But I could not wait for that to arrive. I said, no, I need to read it now. And so I immediately ordered it on Kindle. I made sure that it is there on all the devices. Wherever I have Kindle, it should be available on all the devices. And I started reading it, and I read it in 3.5 hours. Fastest reading of any book. It is not a fat book. It is a very crisp, very well written, very well organized book. And Pradeep has been such an inspiration. I've known him for a long time. I've been following him for a long time, but it was only in 2020 that I actually got a chance to speak to him, and that was one of the virtual coffees that he organized, where he was trying to reach out to some testers. And this was just a day before TribalConf, the first conference that the Test Chat was a part of, and it was an incredible experience. So reading his work is awesome, and great choice for a person to work with. All right, and that brings me to my last question for you, Gaurav. If given a chance, then would you prefer to become a developer ever in future, or would you prefer to be in testing?
I would prefer to be in testing.
Why is that?
Because going back to the first point, that I can use something, I find it better that I can use it and use it as an end user, so that I can understand that the business and all that stuff, and that in that portion it becomes easy. Like if I talk about that, the telecom system I was working on, so there was a front end CRM system where you create a customer, so every particular developer know his or her own system, only that particular part about it. If you just talk about even business to them, so sometimes they were not interested. I'm not blamed the whole industry or the whole developers. It's up to the individual, that some take interest and some don't take interest. But being a tester, you get it automatically. You understand the domain, that how things are working. So that part really interests me, that as a user, what is the pinpoint, that suppose if I'm using it, if I don't like even the font or something, so I complain those things, that this user might not like it, and I use it. And so that part really interests me, that I can know the whole system, how the actual user would be using it. And since we use so many products, so it gives the advantage also that we can apply the same thing, that whether a user is gonna like it or not like it. Because sometimes for developer it's just a button. Okay, you tell them the specification, they will tell this was the given and this I have developed. But when you are trying to explain, you are telling, okay, you did it as your work and you did it right also. But if it does not look good and it will come back, so that's the best part of it, that I like it. And that's really the testing is. So that I'm not sure that how those things will be automating, or that discussion and all. But yeah, I would always be a tester because of this reason.
Well, that is an extremely inspiring response, because I was wanting to get your perspective on this, because I wanted to again send a strong message to people who are new into their career, or people who happen to watch this video, if they happen to watch it, if they are in college, that this response from Gaurav is very important for you to listen to, because for somebody to be in a profession for 10 years and then aspire to be a part of that for as long as possible, it takes a lot of grit, it takes a lot of determination, it takes a lot of passion to talk about it the way that Gaurav has spoken about. And to all my viewers, I want to tell that there are things that we learn every day from people around us. So don't stop learning. And what Gaurav presented today in this discussion has opened up my eyes to a lot of things. And there is more than enough reason for me to be following Gaurav's body of work, which is excellent, which is growing. And I am pretty sure that in the days to come, Gaurav is going to create some more magical stuff for us to make our lives easy. Okay, my final question to you, Gaurav, before I let you go, is when Gaurav is not testing, what is he doing?
So I like blogging. So I do sometimes that blogging part, that I have one personal and one technical kind of blog where I share this tips and tricks and something related to testing, and the other one is like traveling kind of blog and all. So, and otherwise I like singing. So not
Oh,
a very good not a singer, but yeah. If I'm not there, sometimes I play that Casio also. I try to play. I don't know very much, but I like it. I like playing that. So yeah, these are the two major things.
that's cool. That's cool. So we've been talking about, forming a band. We have Naveen, Naveen Kunteta,
Right, right.
from Automation Labs. He's a singer. You are a singer. You play
Nice.
the keyboard. Then we saw Raghav Pal with a guitar, so he of course knows. So we can definitely form a band. Okay, so
I
the
think at
band
that
of
level,
testers,
I would be in chorus.
the band of testers,
Mm.
and I can be in the audience. It's fun. It was very interesting talking to you, Gaurav. It was awesome, very inspiring. Thank you so much for your time today, and keep inspiring the way you have been doing. Keep doing things that you're doing. You've been an absolutely fantastic member of the Test Chat community. We need more and more people like you with so much energy, with so much passion, and I'm sure that some of this energy is going to rub into all of us in the group, and we are going to see better testers. So not only making people's life easy, but also creating better testers. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much. So last point I would like to add is I think feedback is very important. Like as you were telling the other day, many times you tell that maybe people might have not noticed that. You tell that in Telegram you have contacted with the people, giving them feedback, that reply feature is not there. So I think feedback is very important. Whatever tool you are using, so that will even make you a better tester. Be you are using LinkedIn, or even we use product internally in Microsoft. Everything gets sometimes released earlier to us. So we keep on, like, maybe not everybody participates in that. We give feedback to the things not only internally but to Amazon or whatever things you are using. You can just tag them in Twitter and reach them to them. And that applies even to real life. Like things can't change. Like recently we had a discussion in the test chat where people were telling that it's difficult to change the mindset and change everything in the organization. Yeah, it's difficult, but you should do your part. You should give the feedback. It's up to them whether they change it or they don't change it. So similarly, if we have feedback even for the test chat and all, so you have done a great job, like even picking the name. You are not calling yourself the admin, the enabler. That was a new word. So, and you are doing a great job, like even coming up with, like, you are spending time. We can see that effort, that I think teapot that he shared with that. What are the rules for the group because of the conflicts and all? So you are even managing those conflicts and all easily because you have seen the problems. So feedback is very important, and I feel that whatever we use, be it like you see a report button, so use that report button in the apps or wherever, so that will even improve you as a tester. And thank you very much for inviting me. It was good talking to you. Thank you. Thank you
Awesome,
people who
awesome,
come.
awesome, Gaurav. I will, of course, share the link of your blogs and all the amazing work that you've been doing in the link in the description of this particular video. Thank you so much. You enjoy the weekend, and let's keep chatting on the test chat.
Sure. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.